So from plunging into an ice infinity bath in the foothills of the Italian Alps last week, we're now back on the farm and being welcomed by some incredibly sunny weather and very frosty, chilly mornings. It's absolutely beautiful. And this is probably the last time in a really long time that I'm going to say we're back on the farm. More about that a little bit later, as well as a super exciting competition which we would love you to be a part of. Stay tuned, but for now, Crusoe and I are going for a little walk just to appreciate the light dusting of ice over everything this morning. It's not mega frost like lots of you will no doubt be used to, but it is so pretty, and if you take the time to just slow down and appreciate it, it really is quite lovely.
So, edge.
Yeah, throw it over the edge. Get through.
No.
Hey Crusoe, can you breathe fire like a dragon?
Dragon.
Dragon?
Dragon. Lion.
Really? What you got there, buddy? And in amongst the wintry cold, it really starts to feel quite spring-like in the sun, especially since we've got a few daffodils popping up. Right, I think it's time we head back indoors. I've got a couple of small projects to do, which I'm excited about. But John, I need to ask really nicely to do me something. Having got back, we just don't have any storage space in this property at all. So it's a project he's been putting off for quite some time. But I think it's time, and I'm going to have to ask really nicely. Oh, that's so sweet. I just saw a little robin pop down and grab a worm or something. Come on then, bud. What a lovely way to start the day. If you haven't yet been outside and you're able, this is your reminder. Go outside, breathe some fresh air. Take a moment to sit with nature. I promise you, it'll do you the world of good. Bud, it's a bit chilly, my love. Come on.
No.
Please. Okay, for context, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. It's very cold, as you've seen. I've looked away for 2 minutes and Crusoe's found the one remaining puddle on the farm. I mean, things just escalated.
What have we got there?
Box.
Box! Wow! You got it? Oh, heavy.
So, what would you like for dinner, my love? On our way back to Portugal from Italy, weirdly, the flights worked out cheaper to come via the UK. So we were able to swing past to grab a few important bits and to see some friends. But we were most excited to have discovered HelloFresh. If you don't know what HelloFresh is, it's a recipe box service here in the UK which delivers food directly to your door. You have the option of tons of different recipes, all of the ingredients are pre-portioned out, and it's all delicious. What I've loved about HelloFresh is it is a brilliant money saver, especially in these times of the cost of living crisis. There's a whole range of different kinds of recipes, things like vegetarian or rapid, and 66% of their rapid recipes are less than 20 minutes and only use one pan. So not only are you saving money on ingredients, you're also saving money on those energy bills, which we all know at the moment, well, they're pretty scary. My favourite part about it is that there's just no waste. And in a world where we really all need to be working hard to be more sustainable with all of our choices, I love that for this week in the UK, we're not going to be throwing anything away. So if you'd like to give HelloFresh a go, we have got an amazing deal for you. Scan the QR code that's popped up on your screen now, Or click on the link in our description below and use the code NEWBIES60 to get 60% off your first HelloFresh box and then 25% off your next 8.
That's like walking into Sainsbury's or Tesco's and getting a 60% discount off your shopping.
Isn't it?
Excellent.
And the recipes are truly delicious. We hope you enjoy it. Let us know in the comments below.
We certainly have.
We've loved it. Today is a good day. We've come back to sunshine on my face. The weather forecast for the coming weeks is nothing but wall-to-wall sunshine. There's literally not a cloud or a raindrop in the sky. So we have got so much to do, so much to crack on with. But the first thing I'm going to ask my very handy husband to do is build me a wardrobe. It feels like for the last 2 years, we've done nothing but live out of suitcases because we've been living in the vans, we've been traveling, we've been doing big road trips, we've been moving between the UK and Portugal while we went back to have soya. And quite honestly, I'm just so excited that we're now back on the farm and we have no plans to go anywhere for ages. So I think it's time we start to feel a little bit settled. Now, if you've followed us for a while, if you've watched some of our previous episodes, you know that John is super, super handy and very good at his carpentry. He built us a beautiful kitchen. Now what I'm going to need to do is ask him very sweetly to build me a wardrobe in the bedroom upstairs. Truth is, the weather's so nice, and we've always said nice weather means outside work, bad weather means inside work, but there is no bad weather forecast, so he's going to have to break the rules a little bit. Now, I've got an idea in my head of what I think will work and what we need in the space that we've got, so I'm going to jot it down for him. And when he comes back in, because he's out on the farm at the minute, I'm going to ask him very nicely and see if we can finally get a wardrobe. And I'm going to leave it on the table, which he'll see as he walks in. Let's see what he says. Hey, buddy. Crusoe. Do you think Daddy's going to do my project?
It is so lovely out there at the moment. The sun is shining. Lots to do. What have you got? What's this? That looks a bit random. What is it? What is it? I see please and question marks. What's that then?
Please.
Please.
Darling, please, would you build me a wardrobe?
A wardrobe. I suppose that's it then, folks. Are we done?
Yeah.
Should we go home and build a wardrobe? We've got the wood. We've got some panel.
Lovely.
Got a pole.
Yay!
And Crusoe. These are yours, buddy.
Oh, have you got your own hangers?
Big smile, eh, buddy?
And all your tools are ready, Crusoe.
Okay, so the wardrobe starts to take shape, and with my little helper Crusoe on side, there's been a few tricky bits. The walls aren't quite square, are they, Crusoe? So we've had some troubles fixing the wardrobe to the wall. But all in all, I think we've also had Crusoe sitting inside the cupboard while I fix it to the wall, which has been very, very helpful. all in all, it's been a jolly good project so far, I'd say. So, of course, when we come to fit doors, that's the sort of the litmus test, I suppose, as to whether it's gone in square and whether it's good. We'll see a little bit later whether that's going to be the case. But for now, Crusoe and I have got a few more bits of panel to put into place and a rail, and then I think we'll call it a day.
If you follow us on Instagram, you will know that we have started planting our vegetable garden. If you don't follow us, we're at the Newbies, so please do come on over and check it out. But it is the very early stages of us producing our own food, which is our ultimate long-term goal for this place. And I am so excited because we've got onions, we've got peas, we've got beans, and they are surviving the rain and sprouting and actually thriving. So they're doing really, really well. This is just a marker, because there's nothing for me to do here this afternoon, to kind of just mark this point in our vegetable journey. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4 beds. Joao set them up for us while we were away, and now we've got the foundations to take things further and really get stuck into producing all the food we need. Yeah, buddy! I'm being summoned. But I just wanted to show you where we've started, and now we can all go along for the journey to see where we get to. I cannot wait, because this, for me, feels like all my dreams coming true. What's up, buddy? A puddle? Big puddle.
Okay, so Armando and Joao have been very kindly giving us a short lesson into how to prune those apple trees and the fruit trees that we've got around the farm. Some of them are not going to make it. We've watched them last summer, and also Armando and Joao, living on the neighbouring farm, know these trees pretty well themselves. So they've said and identified, as we have, that maybe there are 4 or 5 fruit trees on the property that we should just take down and replant. So that'll be the plan. We need to get all of our pruning done as soon as possible and ready for the spring when the new shoots come out. We also need to get those old trees out of the way. So my job is going to be to chop down those old trees. That means I get to use my chainsaw, whoop whoop. Brady, Raising Voyages, I know that you love a chainsaw. No hand saws today for me. We're just going to get straight to the business. So that's the next job. Let's get on with it. Okay, so these 3 trees here need to go. These are the ones that we've identified. They're not looking very good. They produced absolutely 0 fruit last year. We're hoping that in the place of these trees that I'm going to take down right now, we're going to be able to plant at least 2, probably 3 new fruit trees. Plums, I'm thinking plums at the moment. That'll just mean that this is a lot better use of the land that we have here on the farm. And I know for one, Crusoe loves plums. If you remember last summer when the plum trees started to fruit, he basically lived underneath them until they were all gone. Okay, we've got the 3 trees down. Some of the more astute of you watching will have noticed that there's a cable running here. It actually is an old telephone cable. It doesn't go anywhere, so I haven't been too worried about bending that and stretching it and putting it out of place because it's just going to go anyway. But the 3 trees are down. I'm pleased about that. We've got a whole bunch of firewood lined up. Probably give that to Joao for this winter. I know he's got a log burning stove and we just don't at the moment. Plans for one in the future for sure. Just get rid of all of this this brush and this twigs and what have you. This is where a wood chipper would come in pretty handy, but we don't have one at the moment. So probably just put this to one side and let it rot down. There's enough land here to allow us to do that. Good job. That tree is next, but not right now.
Wow, love, you've been busy.
Yeah, those 3 trees have come down quite nicely. I was just saying that this tree also should come down as well.
You know I hate cutting trees, don't you?
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, we cut them down and then we plant new trees. It's not like we're getting rid of them. These trees definitely, these 3 here, had come to the end of their useful lives, certainly on a farm anyway. Okay. Lots of leaves, lots and lots of bush. But basically they're shadowing everything. You know, they were in the way. So let's grow some nice short fruit trees. And Crusoe, do you fancy a plum tree? Yeah, of course you do.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Could we keep this one tree
Yeah.
to make shade over here? Because if we take that down, this is going to be really hot in the summer. And I was just thinking, if we keep this tree, we could make a nice little seating area underneath here to be like in the orchard and the vegetable garden. He agrees. Because this is quite a nice little like amphitheatre thing with the plum tree and then this tree.
Yeah.
And I know it didn't produce loads, but I'd be interested to see if we pruned this back a little bit. It had those really interesting, like almost sour plums, little yellow sour plums.
Well, we can leave it. I mean, there's no harm in leaving the tree and having another look for another year.
Yeah.
And seeing what it does this year.
Yeah. And now that we've opened this up, like it really has made a really cool space.
All right, next job. We've got to get rid of all this brush out of the way. I'm thinking we just pile it in the middle of the field behind me.
This is a really, really cool project because it's been a while since I felt like we made significant change to the farm. When we first got here, like a year ago, almost a year ago, we had it was like every single day was a huge change because there was so much to clear and everything was so overgrown. And we were like making new discoveries all the time. And then, you know, you kind of get to the place where that work stops and things start to look the same every day. Obviously they change, but it's quite cool to do a project that like transforms the space again. And you can kind of gives you new ideas, new perspective, new thoughts. It's cool to see the like outside of the farm changing. I like it.
Well done. Oh, heavy. Well done. Oh, that's a heavy one. Wow, done you. You want to show me? Show me. What have you got? Is it a big one?
So in an ideal world, we could wood chip that all down and add it to our compost. I have big composting dreams this year. I've been talking about it for a really, really long time and getting very little done. So this is the year, isn't it, love?
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm going to see if I can find a wood chipper to borrow from our neighbouring community. With any luck, we can chip it all down and add it to the compost. One of the best things about giving this life to our children is watching them kind of make fun with whatever we're doing. Crusoe always loves to help with the projects, but that's really cool just to see him like take those stumps that were left from John cutting the tree down and use them as little like climbing steps or stepping stones. The whole world is his playground. Love it.
Man, am I feeling productive today. We are so ready for Mario to turn up with his big digger tomorrow. Crusoe, I know, is very, very, very excited about him turning up. We've also got a bit of a surprise for Crusoe because Mario isn't just turning up with his big digger, he's also turning up with the digger filled with sand. So we are going to be putting together a sand pit for him tomorrow. And rather than just, because, you know, Crusoe loves to dig. He absolutely loves it. He's got his diggers and he loves to play in the sand and he's constantly moving around and doing stuff. So rather than just dump a pile of sand in the corner of the farm, what I think we should do is try and build him a little sand pit. You can see all the clay. Looks like some sort of a weird, I don't know. Anyway, we've got lots of damp, wet clothes because Crusoe keeps jumping in puddles. So we're trying to dry them out in the sunshine, the lovely sunshine here. So anyway, down here, just before we came to the property last year, the electrical company came in and swiped down a whole bunch of trees because they were getting in the way of the cables that are just, well, you can see them right there. So what that means is there's a whole bunch of really big, thick trunked trees down here that we can look to sort of make into a sand pit frame. It doesn't have to be very high. It just needs to hold a little bit of sand. And I'm thinking, you know, 1.5 meters by 1.5 meters kind of square would be absolutely perfect. And what I'm thinking is, in terms of location, so I'll get the chainsaw out in a minute. Sorry, I'm rambling. But what I'm thinking about in terms of location is, here, of course, there we go. So we've got both the houses here. Everybody knows where that is. Orchard's over in that direction. We don't want it over there. And we don't want it really down there either, although that is a very nice sitting area. What I'm thinking is, walk out the gates. This is where Mario's going to be doing all the digging of the pipes tomorrow. The lawn's down there, down the bottom. Don't really want to put a sandpit in the middle of the lawn either, but what I'm thinking is the sandpit could go right there. This seems like an absolutely perfect place for a sandpit because we've got the kitchen window right there and we've got the living window right there. The lawn is just down there. And the table area where we like to sit and eat outside is just up the top there. Robinson's Rock, of course, right there. So here, I think, would be a cracking place for a sandpit. Crusoe can't get into too much trouble down here, can he? So, go and cut some logs, lob them down there, wait for Mario to turn up, fill it up with sand. Bob's your uncle. Well, he might not be, but that will be perfect. So I'm going to need to get my chainsaw out. Love getting my chainsaw out. Lots of little jobs to do with the chainsaws at the moment. Chop up a few of those trees and stick them into a square shape. Let's crack on. So there you go. We've got 4 pieces of wood. They're just going to act as a frame to keep some sand in. Crusoe doesn't need much to be delighted, and I'm delighted to be able to provide it for him. Such an easy little job. Doesn't cost anything either. Okay, what we've got there is a very rudimentary, very simple sandpit. Now, I totally understand that we should really be digging a ½ meter down and lining it with a nice piece of liner to make sure that the mud doesn't come in and mix with the sand and all of that kind of jazz. But here's the thing, we're just building a sandpit for a little boy who just likes to dig stuff, and it doesn't matter about the rest of it. So this can be temporary, it can be forever until the wood rots. All we want to do here is just make something that can be a place where Crusoe and Sawyer eventually can really enjoy themselves. What's that knocking? I think they're watching. Hang on a minute. There we go. Look. Let's go and have a look. I can't reach up that high, but I'll try. I'll try, everybody. Just duck down there. Who's there? Are you going to come out and help, Crusoe?
Yeah.
Are you coming?
Yeah.
All right, I'll come and get you.
Okay.
All right. That looks like Crusoe is ready to come out and help his dad.
Well, I think it's high time we told you all about that competition we've been promising.
So behind us is Robinson's Rock.
Which, if you've been following us for a while, you'll remember when we first got to the farm last year, we had a really quite silly but super fun competition where we asked people to comment below the video to name the rock.
Yeah, and there was a whole bunch of, I think we had 3,000 comments on that video and at least 1,000 different names for a rock.
And we loved it.
Yeah.
And we settled on Robinson's Rock as a kind of nod to Crusoe and the fact that that's going to be his playground.
Shall we?
And speaking of playgrounds, we thought it was the perfect chance for another competition.
Yeah, so this time it's a big competition. It's going to take weeks, maybe even months to see it actually happen, I suppose.
Yeah.
To see reality.
So what exactly is it?
We are thinking that it would be a really fun idea to give the project the title of...
I haven't even heard this. What is the title? I don't know what the title is.
It's a long title. It's a paragraph, really.
Okay, the paragraph is... the paragraph is... If when you were a kid you could have asked your mum and dad to build you a playground, what would it have looked like and why? So let your imaginations run wild, let your dreams come to life, and this is how it's going to work. Comment below with your idea or your dream playground scenario. Then everybody please read through the comments and like your favourite idea, even if it's your own. The playground idea with the most likes is going to be built by John and I for Crusoe and Sawyer.
You might be thinking about building a tree house up here.
Or what about a castle around Robinson's Rock?
How about a go-kart track through the orchard? That'd be pretty cool.
Or is it perhaps the world's most bonkers all-natural water park down here?
Okay, so like all competitions, we're going to need to have some rules. Rule number 1, you have to put your idea in the comments below.
Rule number 2, the competition starts today, the 29th of January, and is going to close on the 15th of February.
Rule number 3, don't get your feet wet.
Number 4, the winner will be chosen dependent on whichever idea gets the most likes. So once you've left your comment with your idea, have a read through all of them and vote for the one that you think is the best idea, even if it's your own. That's also cool.
Rule number 5 is, well...
The fifth rule, we don't like that many rules.
She's right. We don't like rules. So there is no rule number 5. But what are you going to win?
Obviously, international recognition for being the designer of Crusoe and Sawyer's amazing playground, but also a piece of Newbies merch of your choice on us to say a huge thank you for being a part of our community and joining in with this competition. Oh dear, I hope that's really clear, everybody. We're excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. Don't make it too wacky. Oh, here's a good idea. If you've got this mega idea, even if you're terrible at drawing, why don't you sketch it and send us an email of that sketch? And then, you know, kind of like Blue Peter or one of those design shows, we'll show some of the ideas that we get through, if we get anybody sending us ideas anyway. Our email is in our
About Us section.
Yeah, About Us section. So if you've got an idea, sketch it, snap a quick photograph of it with your cell phone, and then just shoot us across a copy. We'd love to see it.
We'd love to see it.
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's probably time for us to sign off.
It is. So,
big plans for 2023, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. And we will see you
next week, when Crusoe has the time of his life.
Yep, excited to show you all that. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to hit that thumbs up, leave us that all-important comment with the entry for our competition, subscribe if you haven't already, and please make sure you tune in next week.
Absolutely. Be brave, think big, explore.
Cheers, folks. Thanks
Cheers,
for being
folks.
here.